Imagine this. Every single morning, you wake up, you sit down at a table, and your entire job, the only reason you exist, is to eat someone else's breakfast. Sounds amazing, right? Free food, royal food, the finest meals in the kingdom. Except, here's the part nobody tells you. If that food is poisoned, you're the one who finds out. With your stomach. Welcome to the worst job in human history. Let's set the scene. It's medieval Europe. Kings are everywhere, and everyone, absolutely everyone, wants to kill them. Their brothers want the throne, their wives want power, their advisors want control, random dukes with grudges want revenge. And the easiest, cleanest, most untraceable way to kill a king in the year 1200? Poison his soup, no witnesses, no blood. The king just gets a headache at dinner and never wakes up. So kings got paranoid, extremely paranoid, and someone in some royal court had a genius idea. What if we just hired a guy to eat everything first? If he dies, it was poisoned. If he's fine, great, dinner is served. That guy was called the food taster, or in ancient Rome, the pregustator, which is Latin for the person we are absolutely fine sacrificing. And here's the thing. This wasn't some dark secret. This was a real job, with a title, with a salary, with a uniform. You would stand there at the royal table, looking very official, and eat a chunk of everything before the king touched it. Bread, meat, soup, wine, even the water the king washed his hands with. Someone had to pour it over their own hands first to check if it burned. Congratulations, you are now employed. Now let's talk about what your actual day looks like. You wake up, you go to the royal kitchen. The cooks prepare the king's breakfast, eggs, bread, salted meats, maybe some fruit. Before any of it leaves the kitchen, you eat some, right there, in front of everyone. Then you wait. You don't get to eat your own breakfast. You don't get to sit peacefully. You just stand there, in the kitchen, being watched, while everyone silently wonders if you're about to collapse. If you're fine after a few minutes, food goes to the king. But here's the nightmare hiding inside this system. Most poisons don't work instantly. Arsenic, one of the most popular murder weapons in history, takes hours to kick in, sometimes days. The symptoms? Stomach cramps, vomiting, hair falling out slowly over weeks. So by the time you started feeling sick, the king had already eaten the food and was already dying, which means your entire job was actually pointless. You were never really protecting anyone. You were just a psychological comfort blanket for a paranoid monarch. You risked your life every single day for a job that didn't even work. And it gets worse, because history has receipts. Let's talk about Helotus. Helotus was the personal food taster of Roman Emperor Claudius. He ate Claudius's food every single day. He was loyal, he was trusted, he was important. And then one night in 54 AD, Claudius's wife Agrippina decided she wanted her son Nero on the throne. She hired a professional poisoner named Locusta. Yes, that was her actual job title, professional poisoner, and had her lace Claudius's favorite dish with poison. The dish? Mushrooms. Helotus served them. Claudius ate them. Claudius got sick. And Helotus? Completely fine, because the poison was hidden deep inside the mushrooms in a way that a quick taste couldn't detect. Claudius called for his doctor. The doctor, also in on the plot, finished the job with a poisoned feather down the emperor's throat. Claudius died. Nero became emperor, and Helotus, he kept his job under Nero, then got promoted under the next emperor. The food taster who failed to prevent the murder he was hired to prevent got a raise. Now meet Margot Wilk. Margot was a young German woman in World War II. She did not volunteer for her job. She was forced into it. Every single morning at 8 a.m., She and a group of other young women were brought to a facility and made to eat Adolf Hitler's meals before he touched them. Fresh vegetables, soups, carefully prepared dishes. They ate. They waited an hour. If nobody got sick, the food went to Hitler. Margot did this for over 2 years, every morning sitting at that table, not knowing if today was the day something would be wrong. She survived the war. She was 95 years old when she finally told her story in 2013. She said she was terrified every single day. So let's zoom out. You have a job where you might die at any moment. You eat food you didn't choose. You have no control over what's in it. You can't quit, because who quits on a king? If you refuse to eat something, you're executed for insubordination. If you eat it and it's fine, the king gets the credit for being alive. If you eat it and it's poisoned, you die. And the king also probably dies anyway because the poison already spread. There is no winning. There is only eating and hoping.